The other day I saw a video and I liked it and I saved it because I was going to come back to it because the subject matter and the book that the person was reading from, and it was a physical book. It wasn't anything digital. It was a book that was published in the late 1800s, early 1900s, and it was about the white slave trade. And I'm saying it, that video is now down. It's gone. I know I liked it. I know I saved it because I was going to come back to it because it challenged my belief in where I saw that post where Jerry Seinfeld said that his dad was a Cabbage Patch Kid, and I was just like, well, yes. And then this is an example of a narrative that you hear and think, well, yeah, that could be true, but then more information comes out and then you realize that whole theory, down to like the staged photos of a man in a lab coat next to some machine in a baby making factory, like these were like the World Fairs or somewhere around that era, right? All of that was just an illusion to cover up the fact that they had an encampment and were enslaving women and making them breeders to fill the population. I saw photos way back growing up. Like, I don't know if it was a museum or if they were in actual like older history books back in the day, but I remember, and I know some of you have also seen photos of children working in coal mines. Like, this is known history. They were using children as to do work in the coal mine, but then they were using women to be pretty much their baby factory. Like, that was, but it was brutal. Like, it was basically slavery. And he was reading from the book, and the author of it was saying how what they were doing in the white slave trade was worse than what the trade in the Congo was in 1500s or whatever that was, right? And so, yeah, pretty much whatever they've shown you, it's a lie. Even down to them, they staged everything. Like, their inception with media and their purpose, and I've said this before, it was to pretty much cast a spell over the world about their perception of the world and people. So however they wanted to shape it, however they wanted to. Okay, and that just, I wanted to speak on this new information, and I felt the need to speak on it because, yeah, I did make that post and I saw it the other day, but that is verifiable fact, this book. And it shows also why they're at such a war with information and truth and real documented history, real accounts of human beings who lived through that time and wrote, and were not afraid to write about what was really going on. Because see, they wanted to hide that because they were at the same time creating this perception hierarchy of that same figure that they were using and abusing in enslavement camps to raise their population to take over the land they were taking over. And even the staged photos of the Siberians and mixed race people that they wanted to paint as the image of the Native American, and erase what the indigenous American was. And then they made up that whole, they have no proof of such a large migration from where, again, and there's so many things, like if you just think critically or even just like have common sense, like it's just not true. Like, there is documented history too of the people who did come into that land in the 1400s and describe the American people and what they looked like, But yeah, no, I no longer believe that. I believe the Cabbage Patch thing and the whole thing that they were growing them in labs. No, their labs was pretty much concentration camps where they were assaulting women and forcing them to breed babies.